Hey, thanks for joining us here in Garage Boxing. Kevin Bree, joined by Rob Mernister.
Good to be here as always.
All right, glad to have you, baby. Hey, we're talking about the biggest fight of 2009 so far. Manny Pacquiao destroys Miguel Cotto, and what a magnificent performance. I mean, you know, there's some haters out there, but you know, weight or not, 148 or 147, 145, it doesn't matter. I mean, you know, spectacular, right?
Yeah. No, it was a great fight. You know, he went out there, did what he had to do. Another impressive performance. You know, it was pretty close up until I think the second knockdown, and that, you know, I think really stunned Cotto. I think that was really the turning point in the fight because, you know, he had a few good flurries. He landed a couple of good shots after that, but you could just tell the tables were turned. And Cotto really was going to win any more rounds after that, although I think he won maybe the 10th round. You know, a couple other ones might have been close, but he was already on his horse, I would say, by the 7th round on, just trying to survive and not get knocked out.
He was in survive mode. And
early
you know,
on, halfway through the fight.
You know, Freddie Roach has said some interesting things, like, you know, the last few fights of, you know, hey, we're going to get Oscar out, you know, and, you know, after round 6, and then, you know, the prediction on this, he said it's going to be a tough fight and it's going to go late.
Yeah.
And then Haddon, he said, oh, that's easy. He said the Mayweather fight would be even easier, but
that's probably to get him in the ring.
Yeah. Well, an interesting thing that he said was, like, you know, that maybe the corner of Miguel Cotto's was maybe you know, a little green there, and they're, you know,
really
therefore
green.
That's, you know, in UFC, MMA, you know, you can tap out. In boxing, you got to have your corner man to you know, to do that thing for you, and you know, maybe he.
Well, you're saying he's green and stopping the fight. I think that he was green in the fact of training and making adjustments.
I meant in that aspect, but really both.
I think if Cotto had Emmanuel Stewart in his corner, it probably would have been the same outcome. It would have been a closer fight. He wouldn't have taken as much punishment. He would have dished out a little bit more. He didn't have any adjustments. He stuck to the same game plan. You know, his trainer, his friend, what's his name? He's 32 years old, doesn't have a lot of experience. I didn't see any adjustments. I saw Cotto go out and do the same thing. I saw Manny do what he wanted to do. First, he went out there, kind of got a feel for the fight, took some shots, and then started to slowly, you know, work his game plan. You could tell Manny had a game plan, and Cotto was just one-dimensional, and the fact that he had just one style, and he never changed it up. You know, he had a great jab. Did he use it more than 5-10 times around? No. When he threw it, did it land? Yes. Why didn't he just jab more?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I know. A lot of people thought that, and it's easier said than done when you get in there, because not only is Manny, you know, elusive and quick with his offense, but he's also with his defense, and I think you saw that. You know, what was interesting also is that, you know, and again, you know, he could be saying this, of course, after the fact, but Manny Pacquiao said, hey, you know what, in the early go-round, I had to, you know, let him hit me and measure out the power.
Test his power.
You know, so it's like, if he would have really been, you know, tighten up with his defense, but I think he saw something in Cotto in that fight with Claudia, and I know I did, and that's why I picked Manny. But, you know, Cotto fought a great fight. I mean,
he didn't quit.
You know, I almost, in a way, since it did go, you know, to when it did, you kind of wish that they did let him finish it out. But, you know, that's another thing that was awesome, is that you saw Pacquiao go for the kill. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He looked at the ref, and the ref said, you know what, I'm not stopping yet, and he didn't. You know, he didn't take the foot off the gas. You know. Yeah.
He did what he had to do, and you know, hopefully he lands the big fight up for him with Mayweather.
Yeah, the scores on that fight were 109-99, 108-99, and 108-100. So, you know, obviously, yes, the big fight, and Mayweather has put out a press release saying, you know, be
your own man.
Be his own man, and he's getting his own little Shane Mosley, you know, kind of thing going on now, and you know, it's like, it's gonna happen. It better happen, and I hope it doesn't come down to the
Should be the next fight for each of them. They don't need a tune-up fight. They were both recently fought. Just, you know, set something up for, you know, Cinco de Mayo.
May would probably be the time. I mean, you know, it's slow sports time, and you know, and
plenty of time for build-up. Plenty of time for them to recuperate, or at least Pacquiao.
Yeah, so you know, Mayweather had been talked about taking a fight against Haddon or Haddon's little brother or someone else maybe earlier in the year, but you know, I think that is probably not going to happen. But
and it shouldn't happen. Who the fuck wants to see?
Well, you'd like to see them fight in March, but that's just not going to happen. There's, you know, I mean, his ear was pretty busted up, and Pacquiao that is, and you know, but yeah, I mean,
the lines are out already.
The lines are out, and you know, Roach said this would be the easiest fight for him. He said, you know, Mayweather's brittle, he had his rib troubles and postponed that Marquez fight.
Pacquiao doesn't go to the body,
his
though.
hands are weak and this and that, but you know, what were the odds?
They opened at 8-5 in favor of Pacquiao, and then everyone started betting on Mayweather. They went down to 7-5. Not sure what they're at today or at this time, but you know, I gotta imagine that goes off pretty much even money. You know,
I think so.
And what are they gonna fight at? They gotta fight.
It's gonna be.
If Pacquiao is the belt at 147, he's gotta fight at 147. No more catchweight. That is just all BS.
Yeah.
You know, if you're over 140, you're 147. Period. You know, I'm not a fan of catchweights. I think if you're fighting for that belt, then 147 is the weight limit. Period.
Just people right now know that Manny Pacquiao is pound for pound, and you know, but Mayweather is, you know, he was there and he retired, and you know. If we would have seen him, let's say, knock out Antonio Margarito instead of, you know,
or if he knocked out Marquez
instead of decision Marquez.
But he totally outboxed him, which was a dominating performance. Marquez obviously is tough. Pacquiao, I think, lost a couple of those fights.
What performance was more dominating though? The one we saw Saturday night, or Mayweather Marquez?
Well, obviously Pacquiao, Cotto.
Right, that was more. They're both dominating, but that was definitive. You know what I mean? You know, Pacquiao had 2 knockdowns early. Could have knocked him out if it wasn't, I mean, for the stoppage. And Mayweather knocked him down, Marquez down once, I think, in the 4th. You know, again,
it's Marquez. Tough to say. I mean, I'd like to see Cotto and Marquez fight.
You know, that would be.
I think Marquez, even though he's older, just seems like a fresher fighter than Cotto at, what, 29, 30? Marquez is, what, 35, 36? He just seems like he has more boxing life left. You know, Cotto, whatever, his last few fights have been pretty tough, even though he's won Claudia. The Margarito fight was tough. I mean, he looked great against Mosley, but, you know, he didn't look the same against Pacquiao when he beat Shane Mosley. It wasn't the same guy.
Yeah, I think you're going to see, you know, a lot of interesting talk and anticipation about Mayweather and Manny, and a lot of posturing, and you know, let's just get it done, and it'll probably be in May, and let us know who you think. I mean, obviously, like we said, we didn't make up these odds. This is what we've seen and what's happening in Vegas. But yeah, another interesting topic is in the fallout of this huge fight this weekend, Manny Pacquiao's defeat of Cotto. Where does that leave where do the chips fall besides the Mayweather Manny fight? You know, you've got Cotto, you've got Marquez, you've got Berto, Mosley, Paul Williams might be coming back down to welterweight, although it probably looks like he's going up. But what's the best fight after this fight now? Is it
for who?
For the boxing, for us, for the boxing public, right? I mean, you know, you've got Mosley and Berto, that's a done deal. You know, and then you've got.
I'm going to talk about that too.
You know, and we'll get to that, but you know. Let us know. I think that it would be interesting to see if Paul Williams beats Sergio Martinez. You know, can he come down?
Which he will.
And can he fight like a Mosley and set up a fight against Pacquiao? I mean, that would be kind of odd, but you know, I mean, those are 2 of the best in the business right now. And you know, you talk about Mayweather and Mosley, and that would be a great fight. It's just too bad that these guys don't fight more often than every like 3.5 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at the most. You know, you know, Pacquiao just fought in November, and we're hoping he fights in May. You know, that's 6 months away. You know, I mean, Mayweather's obviously fought back in September.
Maybe it won't be
19th.
Maybe it won't be May. It'll be
April.
Yeah.
Whatever. As long as it happens, I don't care when it is.
But what would you like to see as far as the next big fight, welterweight division?